everybody. Welcome to the 4-Minute Bible Study. My name is Sam. I hope you're doing good. I'm so glad you decided to join us. If you get a chance, just click a like, share the video so we can get this out. I would love to teach more people the Bible if I get a chance. Now, if you were with us last time, you know we've been going through the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And we basically said that Matthew is written to a mostly Jewish audience. We know this because he quotes the Old Testament a lot to prove that Jesus is the promised Messiah. And the things Jesus says and does also illustrates that in the book of Matthew, that he's the one that is to come and set the world right. Then we move over to the book of Mark. We don't see as many Old Testament quotes. This gospel is likely written to a Roman audience, and it emphasizes more what Jesus did rather than what Jesus said. In addition to that, we see Jesus is presented as a servant to humanity there. Finally, we are now in the book of Luke. Now, the Gospel of Luke is unique. It begins with the words, O Theophilus. And nobody really knows who Theophilus is. Some theories include the fact that maybe this is the guy who financed Luke's research and writing. Others have suggested that maybe Luke's writings, which is, now you got to understand, Luke is a part of a 2-volume set. It's the book of Luke, or the Gospel of Luke, and the book of Acts. So some have suggested that these books make up the court documents that accompany Paul on his way to Rome to be tried before Caesar, because Paul would get in trouble, with local authorities, and he would always appeal to Rome. And so his intention, if you ever read the book of Acts and you read his letters, his intention is to one day make it to Rome and preach the gospel. And so some have suggested these may be the actual court documents that he took along with him, because we know Luke traveled with Paul. And we also, there's a couple of other things, like, for example, Roman soldiers in the book of Luke and Acts are not necessarily treated as bad guys. They're almost sympathetic characters to some extent. So that gives some credit or some credibility to that theory. Whoever Theophilus is, the point is that Luke has done his research and he has set about to write an orderly account, almost chronological account of what has transpired to facilitate the rise of this new Christian faith. When we go through, we look and we find a couple of other things. Luke explains like Jewish customs, and he explains the culture. In addition to that, he translates Aramaic terms into Greek to kind of help his audience better understand what's being said. Jesus is presented in the book of Luke as the Son of Man, which again emphasizes Jesus's humanity and his appeal to all people. There's a lot of focus on Jesus's early life, the birth narratives. The famous birth narrative is in this book of Luke, where it talks about in the days of Caesar Augustus and all that kind of thing. One of the things we see is some stories about one story in particular about Jesus's early years as a child. It's the only gospel that has anything like that in it. Jesus is seen in prayer. Again, this is emphasizing Jesus's humanity. You see him as a child. You always see him in prayer, dependent on prayer. In addition to that, you see that Luke also emphasizes Jesus's ministry to women and how women were used and incorporated in his ministry. And so that's something also unique, not only with Luke, but unique of the time. Again, Luke's main purpose is to give a reliable chronological account of the life and the teachings of Jesus, and to show how this new Christian faith has come about. Now, it's real popular in our day to dog the New Testament documents, to basically call them biased. Critical scholars refuse to trust them as a unbiased record of what actually transpired. However, one such scholar who I think intended to disprove much of the New Testament, Sir William Ramsay, went over into this area where Jesus lived and taught, and went through all of these places, and he came to the conclusion that Luke was probably one of, if not the most reliable and accurate historian of the ancient world. So when we look at the book of Luke, we know that we have an accurate account of what actually took place during those times. Thanks. God bless.